Time to introduce our guest, back by popular demand, UT's Todd Leonard. Todd, thank you very much for coming in on short notice. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
We're going to get to the main event, which is the horses at Santa Anita. That's why you're here. But Lefty had a Lefty moment. Can we roll the video? I think you and I were both watching this live. This is Phil Mickelson, vintage Phil Mickelson, is it not?
This is all time. This is one of the all timers right here. Look at Phil taking his practice swing,
right-handed,
with the club turned over, and but that's the shot there where he thinks that he's going to get the ball under the net, through the trees, onto the green for a birdie probably. And the ball gets caught up in the net. And the funniest thing was this shot where Phil is looking in the sky like it's going to be there, and look at the ball right there in front of him.
Hey, well, there it is. We asked, or the network asked, the Golf Channel asked Lefty about his explanation. Take a listen.
You play left-handed, but you're naturally right-handed. How much golf have you played over the years as a right-hander?
Enough to do better than that.
This is why he's beloved, right?
Right. Because he will try anything. He thinks he can make any shot. Sometimes he pulls it off, like through the trees at Augusta, and sometimes he hits it into a net at the Arnold Palmer.
Before we leave Bay Hill, we mentioned Tiger Woods is not in the field, which is shocking, being that he's won the tournament 17 times. Citing neck soreness.
Yeah.
When you hear that, do you think, I mean, it has to be a pretty sore neck for him not to play Arnie's event, right?
Oh,
it's like
it's got to be killing him to not play this week, given how well he's done, given it's Arnie's event. I don't think we should overreact, but I also think that there should be concern with yet another Tiger soreness or injury. It just shows that he's susceptible to injuries at his advancing age.
Fair enough. More. I guess we'll find if he's not in the players' field, then we get worried, right?
Yeah.
Then we start talking about Augusta. All right. So when did you take over the Thoroughbred beat for the Union Tribune?
A year ago, last summer, so 2017.
But you've been around it.
Yeah.
You follow it. Can cite another time where a major meet like Santa Anita has had to stand down because of a rash of horse fatalities?
To the best of my knowledge, it's never happened. It's never happened in California, and I don't think it's ever happened in the United States.
So this is a really big deal.
Yes.
21 horses since December.
Late December 26th,
so
when the meet opened.
Right, so when the meet... And is there such thing... like we endured this at Del Mar not so long ago. Is it just one of those deals where it's a combination of weather, bad luck, or is there something more sinister going on?
I think I think that the weather is, in my mind, one of the biggest talking points because they've had nearly 12 inches of rain there just in February alone. So when you get that much rain, it disperses the cushion on the track, and then the horses are pounding their hooves on the actual hard pan below the track. So their solutions for that is to move machinery over the track to firm it up, but then you've got this really firm, slick, very fast surface that they're just not used to. So you've got that weather situation, and then is it just bad luck? Is it too many horses running who may have injuries that are being masked by drugs? Is the training schedule too heavy? There's many things involved.
You wrote an article in the paper. I think it's out today, right?
Today,
it hit online last night. Del Mar is sending their track guru, who used to be the guru for Santa Anita, back to Santa Anita. Yeah. So that I guess that would suggest that, like you say, that the first thing they're looking at is the surface.
I think that they are, because that's where you need to start, and that's where they really have to start, because the other issues that we may be talking about as far as too many drugs, too much training, all that stuff, that's going to have to be taken up at another time. But to get that track looked at and examined and have Dennis Moore, the guru, give his blessing or say we need to do this, that's a big deal, because he is incredibly well respected. And he did the job at Del Mar. They have had unbelievable difference between 2016, when they had 17 deaths in this past 2 years.
Not to be insensitive, because obviously I think we share the love of the animal, but there are also two big races, the handicap, the Santa Anita and San Felipe, which have Kentucky Derby implications. They were supposed to be run this weekend.
Coming up this weekend.
And so now, if say they don't get run or say they get pushed way back, how does that mess up the horse racing schedule?
Well, I think I was talking to you about earlier that, this isn't unlike, a swimmer or a track athlete kind of tapering toward the Olympics. So they taper these horses and they train these horses with specific intervals in mind, training intervals in mind, specific races in mind. So if they were to lose, say, the San Felipe, which is a build-up to the Kentucky Derby, that's a big deal to the horse owners. It's a big deal to Bob Baffert and Game Winner, and Game Winner's owned by local ownership here. That horse has been fantastic leading up to this. What's it going to do to that horse? We don't know. They could still run it when they get going again, but we just don't know that yet.
This saga only puts more wind in the sails of folks who want to see the sport shut down. Do you agree with that statement?
I think it does put wind in their sails. I mean, when you have this to focus on, and when you have the national media talking about it the way they are, and coming to PETA groups and other animal rights activists, it certainly gives them a much louder voice than they usually have.
Are we going to see meets shutting down on real wet days? The days of having your mother be a mother, is that over?
I think we're getting close to that, yeah. Because and Santa Anita had done that. They had tried to be more careful with running races, but then I was talking to someone yesterday who said they shut down a day, but then they added races when they could run. So they're still piling horses onto the track, and whether that's healthy for them or that's necessary isn't clear.
Todd, thank you very much. We will talk before you leave for Augusta. Folks, the KUSI ASR coverage is going to look like this. We're going to be as many places as we can as we re-up our ASR coverage. Casey McKinnon's going to have a story for us, and we'll be at Hilltop for a big story on their offensive linemen. So we'll talk about all that right now. We send it back to my esteemed colleagues on the news desk.